What is up, good people? Glad you could come back for this video. We got to talk about Giannis and the Bucks. This is crazy. I didn't see this coming. Ever since Dame went down with his health issue and basically missing the rest of the year, which means he missed the regular season and he's going to miss the playoffs, and we hope he gets back to full health, no issues, and all those good things. Giannis has completely stepped up his game, and I just didn't see this coming. I didn't think the Bucks could be this good without Dame. I always thought that Dame was an important part of their offense, and if you were missing him, it was going to create a regression offensively, and it just hasn't. Giannis has been carrying, and he's been doing everything. So in the most recent game, the Bucks scored 136 points. Pelicans holding L's at 111 points. They just couldn't keep up with the Bucks, but I'm just shocked to see how good the Bucks are offensively. Right, they shot 54% from the field, 40% from three, and then from like some of the technicals, things that I really do care about, and I'm sure a lot of you understand, the rebounding. Right, in this particular game, they didn't rebound that well, but defensively they've done pretty well. They didn't do too great on the offensive glass, but they're shooting so well. Right, I'm just surprised by that. I didn't think this team had that kind of consistency potential when it comes to their scoring and their shooting. They are taking care of the ball, and that's part of the reason why you see them in a lot of these games and winning a lot of these games. All right, so looking at the production from the Bucks, you got 28 points from Giannis. Kuz got you 17. He's been asked to do more without Dame in the lineup, so he's got to get some points. 12 points from Ryan Hollins. And then off the bench, Bobby Portis comes back. You got 14 points from him last night. Gary Trent Jr., 17. And then Kevin Porter Jr., the junior's doing well. He got 20 points off the bench. So this team is finding ways, and you look at Giannis' stat line, it's not just about the points. He had 11 rebounds last night, 5 assists, which I'm going to talk more about that, and he had a block. Right? He's become a very well-rounded player over the course of his career, being able to do more than just one thing. But I think the fact that with Dame gone, you're losing your top guard. There's other players who are going to be asked to do more, like Kuzma, like Giannis, and they're doing it, right? And they're winning games. So speaking to the winning, the Bucks have now won 6 games in a row, and 6 of their last 10. And I'm not saying they're going to beat the Cavs or the Celtics or even the Knicks. I don't know. That's going to be a tough matchup for them. But the Bucks have positioned themselves to remain in the top 5 in the East. I don't think they're going to have the ability to move up because I only think there's a couple of games left. So the Pacers, with their win last night, kind of locks them into the top 4, gets them a home playoff series. But the Bucks are going to be a tough out for a team like the Pacers. And, there's a couple of teams in the bottom half of the standings in the East that could give, teams from the top half, some problems. But Giannis is absolutely impressive. I'm looking at some of the stats from his most recent stretch of games. He's got games where he's scoring 28, 23, 36, 35, 37, 31. These are MVP-like, numbers when it comes to the scoring output. I mean, he's not scoring a ton of points, but it's the consistency. It's every game, night in and night out, he's getting 30-plus points. And then he's giving you the rebounds, right? So he's on the glass, getting you 11, 13, 15, 17. And he's dishing out dimes. In the last 6 games, he's got 4 games in double-digit assists. And he's averaging almost 2 steals a game in that stretch. And he's averaging a block per game in that stretch. And he's hitting a couple of threes here and there. Like, that's a new wrinkle, right? He wasn't really willing to take those, and he wasn't really making those. And he's been aggressive getting to the free throw line. He's averaging over 10 attempts a game. He's just doing everything it takes for his team to win. And I'm not saying the Bucks are going to make the finals. I'm not saying they're going to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's not what I'm saying. I just want to give credit to a player who lost his second best, teammate, his running mate, due to, a health issue. And when it comes to roster construction, I think maybe right now he's able to overachieve. We could say that. There's some players that are underachieving. I would say Giannis is overachieving. I think he's doing more than I think what most people are expecting out of him. He's playing great basketball. All year he's maintained a top 5 MVP caliber performance. I think he's been phenomenal all year. I mean, he's not going to win the MVP. That's going to SGA or Joker for sure. But the Bucks are a good team, and I think the reason they're a good team is because Giannis is a fantastic and great player. He's an MVP caliber player on a team that simply doesn't have the horses to keep up with some of the best in the league. I think it's worth celebrating. Giannis playing hard through everything, and just being a consummate professional. And I even think Darvin Ham's been coaching. Doc Rivers has been out. Like that's tough to do. He's become their steady leader, right? And that's respectable. All right, so tell me what you guys think of Giannis's performances. What do you think of his season as a whole? I think he's had a great year. Just as you got SGA and Joker in the league, it's hard to win an MVP anymore. But let me know what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe, check out some more videos. We'll see you guys on the next one.